right, let's ride. What's up, Renae?
Hey, how
You
you
standing
doing?
up with that walker. You
Yeah.
don't want to sit down?
No, actually, it start hurting after a while and stuff. So,
The more you sit down, it hurts.
uh-huh. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm trying to get used to my new hip. Just had a hip replacement.
You had a hip replacement.
Yeah, I had the whole. I mean, I'm not doing no new stuff, but this is the uh, uh,
Wow.
all this is staples.
Mm.
All of that there.
How many staples did you get?
I'm not quite sure. It's a lot. It's a lot. And I was scared to get it done, but like I said, I'm hopping not only because the soreness in the site, but once this subsides, I ain't even gonna know how I feel to walk regular now because I've been
Wow.
hopping for like 3 years.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, for y'all that don't remember Renae, this is her right
I
here.
came home in 2015,
Okay.
and I remember I didn't know nothing about it. I was scared. And I would actually, I was like hungry and I was like shaking. I was like, man, please, you got $1 or anything. I'm hungry. And I was like about to faint. And I was like, y'all feed a cat or a dog fast. Y'all what a human being. I said, it's not right. Sure enough, it was Tuesday when I reached out to him. Wednesday, he got his check. I helped him because he's going blind. He ain't got no electricity. I mean, I lost myself trying to help the person that tried to everything but my soul. I was just at my wit's end. I wasn't happy, and I was going to jump off the bridge on Bankhead.
Your twins, if they happen to come across this video right here,
Yes.
and they was wondering why their mom had to leave them, could you
Yeah.
tell them why?
I actually tell you the truth. 4 days ago, I texted them because they don't reach out to me.
Okay.
And I let them know that I can imagine how that was having to grow up without a mom.
The last video we did, it was very encouraging. It was inspirational. You talked about your family. You talked about your kids. You talked about some things you've been through in life. It was very touching. How have you been since the last video, other than the hip replacement?
Oh, actually, things have been going good. I've gotten me and my husband, we've talking more.
Okay.
So he's been a support. He's got his own life, so I can't expect for him to just drop everything and help me. But it's like my best friend. And then I
Okay.
got to talk to one of the twins for the first time.
Okay.
That made me feel really good.
And how did that conversation go?
It was, I don't want to say awkward, but I couldn't believe how he had grown so much. He had a mustache, beard, his voice had changed.
Oh,
And
wow.
it was emotional, and I think it was emotional for him too.
Wow.
But
So how did that happen? How did y'all get to speak with each other?
I was talking with my husband. We always cutting up on the phone, send each other, just cutting up.
Okay.
And he had to pick my son. I think he's going to ROCT. He sent us a lot of stuff. See, I got to
Okay.
get reconnected
Is
back
that
with
in
him.
high school or college?
It's a high school. I think he's going into the army or something. I don't know.
Okay.
And so he had picked him up, and then he said, here's somebody I want you to talk to. And when he gave me the thing, it was like I was looking at myself, except for a darker version, because I got two twins, one dark, one light, one short, one tall.
Wow.
And I looked, and I put my hands on my mouth because it was like, wow, he is handsome. And I hadn't, I thought he wasn't even gonna want to talk to me, but he did. So
Okay.
I still got to talk to the other one. But I realized they're older, they got their own lives, and
Right.
I just think, he told me he was gonna tell me need to keep in touch with me more because I do be trying to reach out, but I'm not gonna be pushy about it.
Right.
You know. Thank God I got my son, my oldest son. He's been a big support with me.
Okay.
He was working for a minute, but he has to have surgery on his rotor cuff. It's torn. The only thing keeping his arm is the meat on his skin, and he refused to go. But being I got my hip
What?
surgery, it's kind of giving him inspiration and might go ahead and do it. So he's, so we're struggling. We had income coming in, we had this, and now, he's doing the best to take care of mama.
Okay. So
And
things slowed down for y'all.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So what are some of the challenges
Um,
that y'all are facing right now?
well, like my cats, I have two cats. They're like He said, I up on the bed, others outside. They're my emotional support animals.
Okay.
They've been there for me for my mental health. Like even now when I'm hurting, they'll come and perk. They're the one in the background being a clown. Um, they're. I wouldn't have made it this far in life without them. Them just say that they're my best friend, they're my mentors, everything.
Okay.
And I feel bad when I don't have enough food to feed them, you know. And like I said, I don't get food stamps because of some stuff that happened back in the past. It's like I'm constantly, you know,
You say you don't got food to feed your cats?
I just had to borrow some litter and some cat food from my neighbor, and she feeds 3 cats herself. She's
Wow.
struggling, the older lady, you know. And so, like I said, you know, I used to go out and I make, you know, I hustle. I ask for help. You know, it ain't like I'm going in the store, strong arm and taking it. I'm
Right.
reaching out, and I had one person like, "Oh, you said that last week. You this is a scam." And I'm saying, "Sir, it's not a scam. If I needed help then, I said, I'm not going to deny it. I probably did ask you. I said, but I need help again. You know, I said, I'm not going to nobody's establishment. Still, I'm not robbing nobody.
Right.
You know, so I'm putting my pride and my face on the line to make sure I got what I need without having to go into a whole different, you know, the other side.
Right.
You know, it's a lot of people quite still don't understand that.
You trying to do it the right way.
Trying to do it the right way. You know.
And the guy you said you asked, he said it was a scam?
Yes, 2 people. He
Well,
said, tell me your story again. Because I made up a story because when you tell them like the exact truth, a lot of time they're like, nah, I can't. Some people don't like cats. Some people, you know, at the time I used to smoke cigarettes and I
okay.
used to drink. Some people don't condone it, you know. So if I'm telling you the truth and you say no, then what was the purpose of it when I made up something? So anyway, I just stuck to it, which was on a food related base. You know, I
Okay.
did need some food, but it wasn't for my grandkids, of course. But it was like I had to sell a story that someone would touch their heart, whatever. But now this story is for me. I need help.
Okay.
You know, I might need have to get some more medicine. You know, I have nothing. My
You don't have
check.
Medicaid?
I got Medicaid, but I'm
Okay.
talking about even the copay. You
Okay.
know, my utilities have been high. I got a copay. I got a payee. She take care of all my bills, so it's not like I'm on a program with my electricity. If my bill is 500, that's what they paying.
Okay.
If my water is something, and that's what happened, they took care of my utilities. Now my cable is off because this is just a want. These are necessities,
Right.
you know. So now, which lead, I need to go back out in the street and ask for more help because I need food. I need thing, and I'm not gonna, you know, like I said, I got caught up in that thing a while back with the food line thing, trying to help my dad, and that was for somebody else. Here I am. I really need help, but I would never go that route again, you know, because that's not my personality. That's not my MO. But I was just desperate.
And what happened in that situation?
Well, my dad, his wife had just got removed from the home. She had got dementia. Everybody turned on him. He was just a stepdad, you know, and so everybody just kind of, you know, of course he got his own demons. We ain't even gonna go back into that, but everybody turned, you know, once she was removed, there was no need to deal with him. So he was struggling, he didn't have nothing to eat. Even still, I felt bad. And I said, my dad ain't could sit over there with nothing to eat or whatever. So went out in the street and I asked people. I went to the grocery store, I asked. Nobody would help. And that day I said, you know what, freak this. Right there on Lake Willer.
Okay.
And I went in there, got me a grocery cart, and loaded up and walked right out with it.
Oh wow.
And then the guy came running out, and I said, "Take a picture, it lasts longer." And I got in the car and I left.
So
I just had lost my mind.
you took the items
Yep.
and you got away with it.
No, not really. They called the police to my dad because they got his license plate. At the time, I had just didn't care. I had went over the edge because I reached people say, "Oh, you should ask." And then when you ask, oh, you know, when they see you on TV or something, oh, she should have asked. I would have helped her. So you know, I stayed out there as long as I could. Ask him. My dad hadn't ate. He hadn't had his medication. Although me and him went through what we went through, my heart still, I feel good because I was obedient to what God wanted me to do. He's back home now with his lights on. He's doing good. He got a lady that helps him. You know what
Okay.
I'm saying? But just during that time, I had went that route, but I went to court. The people
So
never.
they got your license plate.
Yep, I was in my dad's car,
And what
and the
happened?
police told me to please bring the stuff over, and I told them I couldn't. I said I dropped some of the stuff. I told them I didn't have no food either.
Okay.
So I told them mostly was groceries for me and my dad.
So did the police come to your house?
They met me. They was gonna meet me over here, but I had to take my dad's car back to him, which is over there in by the trailer park on Garner Road.
Okay.
And so when I got there, he said, well, I'm gonna just let you keep the item, but you're gonna have to still pay. So anyway, Food Line lied. So I had took $400 worth of stuff. It
Well,
wasn't. It wasn't even close to 200. And so anyway, they threw the case out, and I never got no trouble again, and I never went that route again by getting so desperate and frustrated
okay.
to take it upon myself to take it, because that's not my character. So they and my lawyer and all of them knew that that's not, even the police, that's not
You
of
were
me.
just facing hardship at the time,
Yes,
and
and trying to take care of myself and
you
then my
went with your first
dad.
move,
Yeah, yeah,
and it was a bad mistake.
it was.
But you didn't get in too much trouble.
No, no, thank God. I could have lost my place because I could have went to jail. I
Right.
could have lost my disability. I could have lost a lot of stuff at that time. It was like, look, I'm desperate. I'm reaching out. I'm asking. People think it's a game. They laughing. They taking light of it, and you just don't know until it's you in that situation or a family member. That's. And so yes, I did it, and I had to keep going to court for it. And thank God it got dismissed. And since then, I don't care how desperate I get, but I will go out there and ask somebody randomly for help. And it's not a scam. It's just that I need help, and I'm trying not to go that route no more.
Right.
So that's
'Cause,
where
I
I'm
mean,
at
I'm
with that.
here. I'm hearing your story.
Yeah.
So
And that's the real truth. I
I
know.
can believe you
Mm-hmm.
when you saying what you're saying. So
Yeah.
we're asking the people for help right now.
Yeah. So I'm like I said, I'm not homeless now, but I'm still struggling. Still
Okay.
struggling.
Just instead of showing it, just tell it to us.
Okay.
What's that? Your cash out?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Yeah. Don't show it. 'Cause I don't want no personal information.
Oh, it's just Renae 52.
Okay. Hold on. Let me see if I can
Because
zoom
it's a lot
into
of people
that.
ain't, and then it's gonna
Okay. Renae 52.
and then it's
And
gonna and then in parentheses it's gonna say Brenda Hall.
okay.
That's
And
what it's right
this is
between
your
that.
personal cash out.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
With 61 cents on it right now.
Okay. So we asking for help. You just had a hip surgery.
Mm-hmm.
And you shown that at the beginning of the
Oh,
video.
y'all seen it?
Yeah, we seen it.
Uh-huh.
It's real.
Yeah.
Uh,
Mm-hmm.
you're facing hardship right now as far as like financially paying your bills. You mentioned you had a pay, but your pay
She
pays
pays
your
everything.
bills directly.
Right. And so whatever's left, like I just got a check for like $150.
Okay,
And by the time I cash it, that's 140. I still
right.
got cat food. I got telephone. I got to keep it with my own telephone bill. I got, it's a lot. It don't go far.
So it's the a couple small things that you need. So you need money for food.
Yeah, look, come, I'm show you in my fridge. This is no joke. For all the people who really doubt what I'm saying.
And she just had hip surgery, y'all. She literally just got out the hospital about, what would you say, about a day ago?
But there I go.
Wow.
And I need laundry detergent. I got clothes I have to wash. And normally I go out and all right, come on this side. It's top of my freezer. Only thing you're gonna see in there is water.
Wow.
This bag here, my neighbor just gave me a bag with a sandwich to eat. That's it.
Okay.
This is my pamphlet. And
Wow.
no, this is for real. That's why y'all see me out there every day asking for help because I refuse to
Go down that road again. You went down a while back.
yeah.
Okay.
Yep, and so I got to take the embarrassment, the shame of people like laughing at me or, oh, we heard that story before. Oh, it's for drugs, it's for this. And like I explained on my last story, it's not for you to be concerned with what it's for because just that one help could prevent me or prevent anybody from doing a desperate act.
Right.
God is the only one that's going to judge us.
And on the last video, you did talk about your addiction.
Mm-hmm.
But clearly, this is not the case right now.
No. I had to get clean and straight before I could get this hip surgery. I don't smoke cigarettes no more. I don't drink. Well, I've just not tried to take a sip of that. Oh, that didn't work out too good. But
Okay.
I don't smoke nothing right now. I'm in a survival mode.
Right. You just trying to survive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, everybody got a pass, but that's not gonna. Still, it don't define who
And
I
this is
am.
why I'm glad
Yeah.
that you did what you did, and you did all of this on your own. I didn't ask you to do anything today. You
Mm.
showed everything that you showed on your own,
Uh huh.
and you wanted to show the people because you wanted to show the truth. You just
Right.
didn't want to talk about something, and people might not believe you.
And
You
that's
know
what
what
I've
I'm
been going
saying?
through.
Because
Yeah.
sometimes you do got to show people.
Uh huh.
So I get it. I definitely understand why you did what you did.
Yeah.
So uh, we're asking for help from the people. Uh, Renae just had hip surgery, and she can't get around like she used to. Uh, she's still recovering right now. She's a day out of surgery, and she needs some things for her house. Some food, cat food, and what else did you mention?
Some, me, I like Kool-Aid, so I got to take this right here so I can have a bowel movement, but it tastes horrible. So I wanted to get some sugar so I can make some Kool-Aid, so I can
Okay,
take this, because all these medicines binds me up, and then that's toxins in my body. I got to get more aspirin, because for the clot to keep my shit from clotting up,
okay. So
tissue,
if it was a certain amount someone can send you right now to take care of everything, what would it be? What would that amount be?
oh, I don't know, because I'm just so grateful, Hey, 200, I don't know. I'm a very simple, complex
Okay,
person.
$200-$300 take care of everything.
Yeah, definitely my cat. My cat's the main thing. My litter, and I don't like no smells in my house. So
Okay,
to clean my litter box, to get it sprinkled, to keep up with like stuff that I can just throw in the microwave to eat. You
okay.
know. Hmm.
Yeah, let's be direct because we're asking the people. So we're not gonna be scared or shameful right now. We're gonna just ask for it.
Yes.
And if the people do it, they do it. If they don't, they don't.
Yeah.
You know, I'm gonna donate to you. I pay you for the video. Then
Okay.
I'm gonna put $50 to whatever you need.
Okay. Thank
So,
you.
you just tell me what you need, and I'll go get it and bring it right back.
Okay.
And it's gonna be $50 worth.
Okay. All right.
So, I'm playing my part.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. So we're gonna ask for help from the people to see if they can play their part into
Hmm.
helping you out.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Right. All right. You showed your cash app. Is there anything else you want to say to the people before we close out?
Hey, I thank y'all for taking the time to look at these videos. These are real life stories on the street and people struggling. Like I said, some of us are homeless, some of us not. But like me, I'm not homeless, but the struggle is still real, And like I said in my heart, but I know the struggle even when I get myself, but I have to start learning. I have to take care of myself first. I got a bad habit of getting and then giving before I even make sure that I'm straight. But like on everything I love still, if I get everything situated, everything that I need, if there's another human being that need help, like I said, just pass it on, pay it forward. And that's why I encourage everybody, because only God sits up high enough to judge and look down on anybody. Whether their story you believe or not, we're not the judge and the jury of their life, we're not. So, you see another person out there, just help them, regardless of what you're thinking for. If they drink, okay, they drink. If they this, they that. They're not bad people. And like I said, that one drink or whatever could be the whole change of event that to keep them from hurting somebody or doing something desperate, like I did, running a store and steal whole grocery full of food, all because I was, I had asked and people turned me down and looked at me in a certain way. What y'all think or what people think about me no longer matters. I just know my heart, know how I'm living, and know how God looks upon me. And so I'm just trying to pass the message. We here to help each other
That's
and
right.
help one another, regardless. Everybody go through struggles and got little, some things that people out there probably doing they would die to keep from anyone finding out. You know, an addiction is addiction. Whether you drink, whether you gamble, whether you shop, whether you cook, whether you work, whether you have sex, whether you like porno, whether and you think it's innocent, but it's still an addiction.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
you can't look down upon nobody.
Yeah.
But I'm asking today though if y'all could just really help me, and this way I don't have to be out there with my walker making it like a prop, you know. But I will get out there and ask.
Right.
But I'm trying not to go to work. I'm trying to have a fast recovery so I can get back into maybe get a little part-time job or do something, do something positive this time. I got a second chance. I got a second hip, so I got a second chance.
Okay.
And I plan on making this count.
Right.
I just need some help right now. Thank you.
All right. Well, we appreciate you for doing the interview. God bless you.
Thank
And
you. Thank you.
write down what you need. And I'm gonna go get it right now.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
All right, Renae. You got your stuff for your cat.
Yes.
So how you feel?
Man, I am so grateful, man.
Okay.
I thank you so much.
Very
There's
welcome.
just not enough people out here like you.
Okay.
Just, to bring stuff. Look, my cat just came in, the other one. That's my big boy there.
Oh yeah, that's a big cat.
And I got two of them. The other one is hiding. This means the world to me. And once again, I thank you because now I'm able to at least have my cats taken care of.
Right. So that's one thing off the list.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Well, hopefully the people can donate to you and you'll be able to get the other items that you need.
Yes, yes. And once again, you are the best, man. God, you heaven sent. And I thank you for coming out here to the community and having people tell these stories and, letting everything be known.
Right. All right, Renae, you take care of yourself. And
Okay.
you be easy on that hip now.
Yeah, I'm starting to hurt now.
Yeah,
So I'm just trying to finish up everything, and this way then I'll sit down
Yeah.
and rest.
Okay.
I can rest now. I know that my cats are taken care of, and I got my sugar and my fevers, so I can take my medicine.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Hey,
All right,
baby.
Renae.
Say hi, kitty. Kitty, say thank you. He said meow.
That's a big cat.
Say thank you. Look at your E. Where the other one at? Lucky. E. Come on.
There's one outside under the car.
Oh, that's the other lady. That's the lady who she feeds an outside cat, and she has her own two cats.
Are these boys?
Boys, and they've been neutered or spayed. He's saying thank you. Look, he's telling you thank you.
That's what's up. All right, I'm gonna head on that. Take care of yourself, Renae.
All right, you too, darling.
All right.
Thank you so much.